What is good, Panthers Nation? It's your boy Sean T. Stewart, and I'm here to give a few of my thoughts on last week's game and what I think may need to change in this week's game against the New Orleans Saints on Monday Night Football. So, let's get into it. One thing we figured out this weekend is that we don't have the fleetest footed of guys in our receiver room. But I do think there's still a lot of opportunity for us to create plays for those guys down the field. One of the things that you have to do is implement the play action game more. Something that we didn't do, and which was kind of surprising considering how well I thought we ran the ball against that Atlanta front. Now, this is to really hold your safeties. Make those safeties have to come up, do a little bit more thinking than just dropping back. Especially when, considering what Jesse Bates did, which in personally talked about Jesse Bates breaking the rules. The rules he's talking about breaking is that usually you don't have a safety just sitting there playing the robber position like that and completely ignoring what's going on down the field behind him. Pretty much trusting his corners to take care of that and that you're not going to take a shot on us deep and we're just going to play up and make a play. Hence why a couple of those routes, the first interception being on Bryce Young for staring down Hayden Hurst, but the second being that that's usually open, that guy usually isn't there. Now, again, having that happen, you're going to have to do a little bit more. The play action is to get your guys going and to hold their safeties. And a lot of what you have to do now is, I think you're going to have to use a little bit more window dressing. You look at what Sean McVay does for his receivers. He did it last week in his season opener against Seattle. I'm looking at Thomas Brown. I'm saying, look, your input on this is going to be very critical. You know, more than anybody else, you came from an offense that got a receiver to damn near 2,000 yards that isn't the fastest, that isn't damn in the top 10 of the league as far as speed goes when it comes down to that position. Figure out what exactly that is, and that's going to be doing a lot of window dressing things and trying to confuse these defenses that we're going to have to play in order to get your guys going. That has to be the central theme of this week is how do we confuse guys and give different looks to get our guys going. We don't have the fast guys. You're not going to all of a sudden find 4-3 guys walking on the street. This is the group you're going to have to work with. Make the best of what you have. The next thing on my list was Bryce has to trust his vets a bit more than what we saw. And if you watch JT O'Sullivan's QB score breakdown of Bryce's week 1, you started to see that, one, the hilarious comments he made about Adam Thielen, but two, you did see that Adam Thielen was open on a few routes where Bryce just didn't look his way or looked his way or didn't stay with the look long enough. I credit this to a couple of things. I credit this to what happened with Jesse Bates and getting that route picked off the first time when he stared down Hayden Hurst. Secondly, I do think we are forgetting the type of receivers that Bryce Young played with at the University of Alabama. Guys like a Jamison Williams and John Mechie and guys like even that he didn't start with, but Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. Think about all the receivers that came from Alabama, not all that necessarily played with Bryce, but all that have come through that university. They have a certain archetype for their guys. We have gone the complete opposite way. We've gone more of the Frank Wright model, which is these bigger body receivers that can run in-cut breaking routes. Because bigger body guys are usually the guys you want on those types of routes, right? Going over the middle. Well, because of that, we don't have the speed that I think Bryce is used to seeing. So on one route in particular, it was an out route by Adam Thielen. He gets open, but you do got to watch how long it takes him to get in and out of that route. Bryce didn't stay with that look long enough. He tried to go to Terrace Marshall down the field, which would have been a catch. It probably would have been a big play if Terrace Marshall keeps running. But obviously on the bottom half of the screen, Adam Thielen would have had an easy 15 yards. Now, my thing is this. You got to trust your reads. You also have to trust yourself that, look, you can get that ball out of there. But I understand the game moved a little fast for him in that moment. And again, it happens. He's a rookie. These are part of the growing pains of what being in this league is all about. But you got to trust your veterans. A guy like Adam Thielen, who you're going to have to rely on. And Hayden Hurst, for example, too, who they did seem to have a connection. But when you get DJ Chark back, I hope that even having even a more veteran presence out there on the field helps Bryce Young trust his weapons a little bit more. Because overall, that's what's going to have to happen. Him and Jonathan Mingo have to connect more. Those two seemingly missed on what could have been a big play. Wouldn't have scored you a touchdown, but it would at least gotten you out of your own red zone, right? He's going to have to get that connection going with him and Mingo. I know they've been working on it, but it hasn't seemed to click just yet. Terrace Marshall as well, another guy that missed a lot of practice time during training camp, didn't seem to have that connection with Bryce either. Those two guys have to connect. And Terrace Marshall, you can't quit on that route when there's a big play opportunity there for you, and you're the guy alongside DJ Chark that we think at the receiver position can provide us with that type of explosion. The running game. The running game for the Carolina Panthers, to me, was superb. Besides the fumble from Miles Sanders, you ultimately were able to get whatever you wanted to in the ground game, and getting behind definitely didn't help you in trying to continuously pursue that. Continue to do what you do in the ground game. I think you have a run blocking type of line. Ike Ekwonu being your left tackle, Taylor Moton being your right, Zavala being at the guard position, and right now, unfortunately, losing Brady Christensen, you're probably going to have to either go to Nash Jensen or K. Mays. I expect Nash Jensen to probably get the start this week. But you're going to have to be a run blocking group. First of all, this is great. That would be great for the newer guys you're going to have stepping into the starting lineup. I think for confidence-wise, getting those offensive linemen to get going and get moving and have them, look, you just move the guy in front of you, and that's how we're going to start the game. That will get your confidence going. I think making sure the confidence of your guys is going to be crucial, considering that this is a new group and they have to learn how to gel together, and a new coaching staff is also learning how to gel together as well. The easiest thing you can do is give a young quarterback a ground game, and that's exactly what they're going to have to do. Using more of Laviska Shenault. Laviska Shenault helps you with that window dressing I was talking about earlier in the video. Helps you get guys in motion, helps you create different misdirections for the defense to have to defend. And I think that works as well. I think he had a good game. I thought in the few touches that he got, he had a good showing, and that he's going to have to be a guy that you see more of, especially after we get through the season. And honestly, he's probably the biggest of all the guys that carry the football for Carolina. He may be the biggest guy we have right now that does that for us. For me, on defense, is rather simple. Obviously, we know J.C. Horn is out, right? We obviously know J.C. Horn is out. He won't be back for quite some time. We're going to have to roll with C.J. Henderson, Troy Hill, and Dante Jackson in the secondary at corner. Be that as it may, what I've seen from the New Orleans Saints is nothing impressive up front. Justin Houston and Brian Burns and whatever other pass rushers you choose to use in this game have to get home. Trevor Penning on Brian Burns. I need Brian Burns to show everybody why he's owed that money. And he's very deserving of that bread that he is asking for. Easy $30 million, right? Justin Houston's going to have to give you more in that pass rush game as well. Derek Bryan, those cats, they did a great job. Derek Carr, to me, felt like he held onto the ball a little long in that game against Tennessee. Be that as it may, we don't have the secondary to, I think, contribute to that. So, sending blitzes is probably going to have to be the thing here. I think Jerry Chin in coverage is also going to have to be a key point, because I think he's going to get some matchups against guys that we may not necessarily love. Pressure is the name of the game defensively for Carolina. Can they apply it? We will see. They are capable, but this is going to have to be a full-court effort, because we truly cannot afford to allow Derek Carr to sit back there, pick and pop, and get what he wants. And being able to stop the ground game this week is going to be imperative, because I don't think you're facing running backs as good as Tyler Algier and Bijan Robinson. If you can stack the box, you can get those stops, be able to abuse Trevor Penning, I think you have a chance to do a great job of winning this game. But that's all I got for you guys today. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at P1N_network. And head over to Locker Room CRT for this fire gear that they keep giving out and blessing the streets with, man. Be sure to tap in with them boys as well. I'm Shanti Stewart, and I'm out.